Welcome to the Fear and Greed Business Interview. I'm Sean Aylmer. Today we're taking a close look at two very different types of investors with the help of someone who works with both. Ryan Phillips is head of Bell Direct Advantage, which is part of Bell Financial Group, a great supporter of this podcast. He's spent 25 years studying the habits and strategies of day traders, and at the same time he works with ultra-wealthy, high net worth investors who I'm assuming have a pretty different approach to markets. Remember, this is general information only and you should always seek professional advice before making investment decisions. Ryan Phillips, welcome to Fear and Greed.
Thanks, Sean. Thanks very much for having me.
Unlock the mystery of day traders for me, please. You hear so much about them. I think they're courageous folk. Tell me about them.
Yeah, they certainly are. So there's there's two types of investors. There's obviously the high net worth investors that are looking to invest into the market with a sort of a medium to long term strategy, and then you also have the active day traders that make up quite a large percentage of the trading volumes that occur on the ASX each day. And those particular types of clients, the traders in particular, are quite interesting characters. They are, clients that are trading on momentum. They're clients who are looking for intraday movements and to make short profits, looking at each of those securities, whether it be warrants or equities. But they are very much what they classify also as swing traders. So
there's a term there I just want you to define, because everyone talks about momentum trading. It's basically just going off what's happening or what has just happened. Is that right?
It is, yeah. So they're looking for opportunities where maybe a company's just made an announcement or there's been a recent surge in the share price. So they create themselves some alerts capability to try and identify those opportunities. And when a stock has moved 6 or 7 or 10% in a short span of time, then that opens up an opportunity for those clients to trade based off that momentum. So they're looking to follow the upward trend of a security. And make short-term profits, as I said, along the way. So, and they're using various tools as well to do that.
Yeah. So I want to ask that. So day traders, it's successful day traders, I presume, actually have a strategy. They don't just sit down at their desk and say, "What am I going to do today?" Presumably, there's a lot more to it than that.
Yeah, no, and there is, right. So that what they're looking for is those alerts, those triggers that occur in the market, and then they'll trade off the back of that trigger. So they're there forever during the day scouring opportunities. So they're looking for, recent announcements, recent market movements, and then they would use, particular trading tools like what we call advanced order types to be able to take advantage of those orders. So you'd be aware that there's two exchanges in Australia at the moment. There's the ASX and there's also CBO. So there's quite a lot of volume that goes through both exchanges, but in particular, if you place an order, for example, on CBO, there may not be as much volume as you see on the ASX. So these active day traders are utilizing both exchanges to get that competitive advantage, to try and get that order priority. And that's really important for these clients is the speed to market and the order priority to get their order executed first, to be then able to get out in quick succession there shortly thereafter.
How much, and we're staying with day traders, we'll come to high net worth individuals in a moment, how much has technology/automation changed their world?
Yeah, very, very, very much so over the years. So I think the one of the things is we're touching on the active advanced order types, but it's also the market screening tools, and I think they're the types of things that really gain the attraction of these clients, because for them to get that competitive advantage, they need to know what's going on before anybody else. And so in their mind, it's about, okay, how do I identify the next opportunity? So, the technology is advanced in terms of being able to not only place your order, but to actually find the opportunity. And then it's also having access to some of these other tools such as algorithms and things like that. So you can get your order, managed in a quicker fashion than the average retail mum and dad investor.
And how many day traders are out there? There seems to be a stack, but I wouldn't have a clue whether we're talking 100 or 100,000, to be honest.
Yeah, so there's when we look at day traders in the market, you're looking at forgive me if I don't have the correct stats, but there's something like 60,000 active day traders who are trading multiple times a day, every day of the year.
Okay.
So
wow.
Yeah, there's quite a large amount.
And is it mostly equities or is it derivatives? What do they trade?
Yeah, so you've got a combination of clients who trade equities as well as derivatives as well as CFDs. But in the space that I've always looked after is virtually the equities and the warrants space. Now you've got clients who day trade options as well, so exchange traded options. But I think you'll find that that's quite a smaller sample size in terms of CFDs and options. But in the equities space, that would make up, I'd say, about 90% of that 60,000 in terms of day traders.
And many of them are successful, I presume?
Yeah, quite a lot are. You do tend to find some clients that have become success stories overnight. Don't tend to stick around year after year, but you do find that in some of the clients that I've been looking after for the last 20 years, as I said, have still been with me for 20 years later, and they're the ones that are quite disciplined. So they don't steer away from their strategy, and I think that's the trick here is that when you've got a strategy, you don't try and steer away from it and try something different because you fall in love with the stock, for example. You need to be quite set in your ways.
Ryan, stay with me. We'll take a quick break and come back and talk about high net worth investors. We'll be back in a moment. I'm talking to Ryan Phillips, head of Bell Direct Advantage. We've talked plenty about day traders. High net worth investors are a very different beast, and it's probably a bit rude calling them a beast. You've spent much of your career working with the ultra wealthy, first at CommSec and now at Bell Direct Advantage. How do they trade?
Yeah, so high net worth clients are very much reliant upon your service. So a lot of the high net worth clients, they have I guess a longer time horizon, and research is quite important to this segment. So they do a lot more research than your average client. We tend to find that they're not just researching and looking at research reports from different financial institutions, but they're also trying to speak with the companies directly. They would like to speak with an analyst directly. So their needs are quite different, as well as their the way of investing as well. So when they are placing orders, they generally are larger in size. So it's important for them to be able to have access to somebody who can manage the order for them in the market. What you generally see is that these clients would call through an order. It may be in the millions of dollars, and instead of putting it in one large line into the market, which could potentially spook the market, we would actually manage the order throughout the day and over the course of the day, whether it's using algorithms or actually managing the order ourselves. That's really, really important to these clients, because otherwise, if you're placing an order for 5,000 units in CSL, the only way to really manage that order is to feed it in dribs and drabs.
Are they buying different types of equities or asset classes than day traders, for example?
Yeah, very much so. So the average day trader is looking for the security that's trading more in the sense, usually growth companies that aren't necessarily profitable because they're looking for that larger intraday movement. Whereas the ultra high net worth clients, they are looking more at your blue chip securities. And some of the securities that we've seen over the last 12 months that have all seemed to do quite well are the likes of your Pro Medicus, your Telix, your JB Hi-Fi, your 360. These are companies that have been trading at their 52-week high. They're all generating revenue, and these are the types of securities that our clients, especially the ultra high net worth clients, are looking to invest in. More secure, a mix of growth as well as yield. That tends to be the theme over the last several years.
With high net worth individuals, do they? So we've been talking about equities here. What about other asset classes, be it private equity or the bonds or infrastructure, real assets, those types of things? It seems to me when you have more time to consider it, you're kind of more likely to get into it, but maybe I'm wrong.
No, you're right. And I think hybrids has been one of the assets that these high net worth clients have invested in over recent years. Now with the hybrids, winding down, they are looking for an alternative asset. So that'll be interesting to see what comes of that, whether it's government bonds. Private equity has seen an increase, and we've seen some good results from private equity firms over the last couple of years, and we have seen an increase in clients moving away from part of their investments into equities, into private equity. And we've seen quite a bit over recent times into private credit as well. So there's been a large inflow of money into private credit, with some of the banks not entering that particular asset class anymore.
I suppose that's the thing with be it day traders or high net worth individuals. You probably still find trends. So private credit being a great example, where it's almost the flavour of the year, and so people jump into it. And no value judgment on that, whether it's good or bad. It's just what they're all thinking about.
That's right. Yeah. So and as people are talking about it, the media is talking about it, they feel that they should be invested in it. And I think the same thing goes with cryptocurrency. So with Bitcoin, for example. So as more and more people talk about it, and when you open the CNBC app, for example, there's now a dedicated section for Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when you have high net worth clients looking at these sources of information and they're seeing that particular asset class, they feel that maybe they should be invested in it. And we're seeing more people investing into those particular assets, albeit small amounts, just to get started, because there's still some concern around some of those assets. But we are seeing a shift away from some clients entering just into equities.
It's a fun job you got, Ryan, looking at where people are investing.
It is. I mean, it's never a dull moment. It's a very interesting profession, and every day you see something different, and you're speaking to all sorts of people from all walks of life as well. So there's some people that they're sitting there at home in their in their pajamas, some of the day traders, and they're up at 7 o'clock in the morning looking at the markets, and then you're speaking to clients that are on the other side of the world. And I had a conversation just recently with a client that's on a fast speed train in China,
right,
sending me photos trading from the from China. And it's quite interesting and enjoyable. But yeah, I've been doing it for 25 years and couldn't think of doing anything different.
Fantastic. Ryan, thank you for talking to Fear and Greed.
Thanks very much.
That was Ryan Phillips, head of Bell Direct Advantage, which is a great supporter of this podcast. This is the Fear and Greed business interview. Remember, this is general information only, and you should always seek professional advice before investing. Join us every morning for the full episode of Fear and Greed, daily business news for people who make their own decisions. I'm Sean Aylmer. Enjoy your day.